We were talking earlier this week about the housing crisis, the continuing issue for people, and asking the question whether or not the government should be New Zealand's biggest landlord. Also, something else has been hitting the headlines, in particular in Wellington, a growing problem of homelessness and people sleeping rough in our nation's capital, right under our politicians' noses, as it were. An organisation that is supporting others to do something about this problem is Christian Savings. Senior lender from Christian Savings, Andy Milne, joins us now. Andy, kia ora. Thanks for your time today.
Kia ora, Andrew. Great to be with you.
The housing crisis continues. This is something we've talked about for a few weeks, but pivoting here a little bit and looking in particular about a church response more broadly to the housing crisis and homelessness in Wellington in particular.
Yeah, look, interesting you mentioned Wellington, Andrew, and you're quite right. Right under the politician's nose, as you say, Wellington has become, one of the most relatively unaffordable places to live in the country. And, a number of churches nationwide have been looking at this and saying, well, what can we do about the problem of homelessness, about addressing people having a roof over their heads. And in Wellington, the Anglican diocese at a regional level really took a look at this, and they've decided that it's not enough to wish people warm and well fed. They've really got a heart for doing something about their material needs, as the scriptures tell us. So look, their journey in housing, the Anglican Diocese of Wellington's journey, started as far back probably as about 2017. As we know, look, the country has underinvested in houses for decades now. And in 2017, there were political protests outside the Beehive. This is not a new problem.
Yep.
And the Anglican Diocese really took a look and said, look, what is our response here? Is it right that we leave this to the politicians, or can we step up and put our money and our property where our mouth is? So at a regional, at a diocesan level, they did a bit of a stock take, looking at their property holdings, and said, well, look, is this the best use of our land? They looked at churches that had been deconsecrated and were sitting empty, and said, well, look, maybe we can turn this into housing.
Now, good pedigree here, of course, Wellington Bishop Justin Duckworth. He was into emergency housing and living in an intentional community in Wellington and other parts of New Zealand for many years before he was even a bishop. I think he was still barefoot and dreadlocked, but before he was a bishop. So he comes to that role with a strong passion for this type of thing, and, hey, obviously passing that on to the rest of his team.
That is absolutely right. And Christian Savings, we have recently partnered with the Anglican Diocese of Wellington to deliver 11 units in Taita Lower Hutt, which a range of 1, 2, 3 bedroom units, which will be rented out for to the community. They've also got a few on the go in Whanganui, and also Tokomaru in the Manawatu region. So what's really exciting, this is next level. The Anglican Diocese of Wellington are so committed to this housing journey that they're on. They've actually leased their own factory.
Wow.
To build. To build. That was exactly my face too. That was my response. They've leased their own factory to produce modular houses to make the process of housing faster and cheaper for the land that they have. So really encourage, if there are churches out there, if there are people in leadership position in churches, maybe you don't have to be we don't have to look at a diocesan level. If you're an individual parish church with land, thinking, well, we're one church, what can we do? Look, Nick Young is the diocesan housing manager in Wellington. More than open to having a chat with anybody about what they've done and how it might work in your region, or contact us at Christian Savings. We can connect you with the right people locally to talk about land use and how, if you're passionate about community development, we can talk you through what you need to know there as well, Andrew.
I mean, it is a wonderful solution. They've got the land, you've got the money, and we're not just providing bricks and mortar. And hey, I know this is true not just of the Wellington diocese, but other Christian organisations. Vision West is very big on the housing work that they're doing in West Auckland as well. But not just providing a roof over people's heads, but coming alongside people that, look, if you're sleeping rough, there's some stuff that's happened in your life which is less than ideal, but providing that care and support, not just a place to stay, but building homes, building communities. Fantastic stuff that's being done.
It's exactly right, Andrew. And to your point, right at the top, it's homelessness, is not just about putting roofs over people's houses. It is about building a community and wrapping that service around people, because it's more than a roof is really important, but it's more than that people need. And it's not as you said earlier, it's not just the government's responsibility. This is core business, if you like, for the church in New Zealand, and so many churches are stepping up in this area.
Now, Christian Savings, of course, literally building the kingdom of God. And hey, it's only possible by all of us working together. When I said, hey, if you've got the land, you guys have got the money. The money that you have available for lending is money which is invested by Christians in Aotearoa, getting a good return. People can check out all of the details. But hey, if you're looking at the housing crisis saying, hey, somebody should do something about this, you can be part of the answer on this one. If you've got money to invest, it's certainly going to make a difference in people's lives.
That's right, Andrew. Look, we're really, really grateful for the support that we have from Rhema listeners. 100% of the money that we lend out comes from our supporters, our depositors, who are earning that twofold dividend. A financial return on your term investments, and you can check out all of that at christiansavings.co.nz. Get a product disclosure statement, but you're also getting that kingdom dividend as well, knowing that your money is directly invested in producing this fantastic social outcome and building the kingdom of God here in Aotearoa.
Now, Andy, thank you so much for the work that you do. Thank you very much for taking the time to chat with us today. christiansavings.co.nz. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Andrew. You too.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the Rhema studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.